Today, we need to talk about the wild era of licensed portable games in the mid-2000s. Back then, if a movie or cartoon came out, a GBA game was mandatory, and most of the time they fell into two categories: surprisingly decent hidden gems or complete and utter shovelware designed to separate 8-year-olds from their birthday money. So where does Scooby-Doo Unmasked from 2005 land in all this? If you played the PlayStation 2 or GameCube versions, you probably remember a 3D platformer with flashy, cel-shaded graphics and a decent amount of ambition. On the GBA though, artificial mind and movement had to cram that same story into a simple 2D side-scroller. Weirdly enough, it actually works in ways you'd never expect, and stumbles in some pretty memorable fashion too. It's really a strange little time capsule. Now, let's start with the setup, because as far as Scooby-Doo plots go, this one actually has a bit of effort put into it. The gang goes to visit Fred's cousin, Jed. He works as a special effects designer at a company called Monstrous Fright and Magic. Naturally, because it's a Scooby-Doo property, Jed is immediately missing. Not only is he missing, but he's also framed for stealing Mubber, which is a highly advanced soy-based compound used to make hyper-realistic animatronic monsters. Don't ask me how that's supposed to work. It's cartoon logic. You just have to go with it. So now you've got rogue animatronics, monsters on the loose, and Scooby and friends have to clear Jed's name. But here's the neat part. The game's structured more like an actual mystery. You play a Scooby moving through various side-scrolling levels collecting real clues, not just random tokens. You'll bring your findings back to Velma and she helps you figure out what matters and what's just a red herring. For a GBA game, that Mystery Inc. detective feeling is pretty impressive. It's not just run right till you win. When we talk about the gameplay, well, it's a traditional 2D platformer. You can double jump, you can crawl, and your main form of defense is a spin attack to take out generic rats, spiders, and mechanical ghosts. You're collecting Scooby Snacks, naturally, get 100 and you get some health back, and you're gathering that blue Mubber substance from smashed crates. The biggest gimmick here, and honestly the coolest part of the game, is the costume system. Throughout the levels, you can find specialized vending-style machines that use your collected Mubber to change Scooby into different suits. You've got a kung fu outfit, where Scooby literally unleashes martial arts combos, a bat suit that lets him glide across massive gaps, and an archer costume where he fires plungers out of a bow to trigger distant switches. It adds some much-needed variety. The levels themselves are actually quite large, about 20 or so in total, spread across areas like Chinatown and a creepy museum. But here's the catch. While the level design is ambitious for a handheld, it can feel incredibly linear. The game is so worried you'll get lost in these bigger maps that it literally places neon signs and arrows on the ground telling you exactly where to go. It kind of takes the detective element out of the actual platforming when the game is holding your hand like an overprotective parent at a crowded mall. Now we have to talk about where Scooby-Doo Unmasked starts to lose its grip. The physics and controls are a bit floaty. It's a very easy game for the most part. You have unlimited lives, and if you fall into a pit or run out of health, you just respawn at the beginning of the room you're in. The downside, you lose your current costume, which can make getting back up a bit tedious. One big deal breaker was the save system, or, the lack of one. Instead of a regular battery save, Unmasked uses a good old-fashioned password system. Yep, in 2005, when the DS was already out. You had to scribble down long strings of bizarre characters to hang on to your progress, and when you load back in with a password, all your Mubber, Scooby Snacks, and any costumes from a level just vanish. Brutal. What could have been a chill 4-hour game turns into the world's least exciting scavenger hunt for loose scraps of paper. So what's the final verdict on Scooby-Doo Unmasked for the Game Boy Advance? If you trust old reviews, critics really tore it apart. It's sitting at a rough 48 on Metacritic. Most people blamed its blandness and the ancient password system for spoiling things. Looking at it now though, if you're a Scooby-Doo fan or you collect offbeat GBA games, there's a little charm left. The character sprites aren't half bad, the music nails that spoopy cartoon feel, and the costumes mix things up enough for a quick nostalgia trip. It gets repetitive, sure, and it's way easier than the console versions, but it's also a neat reminder of when devs tried to squeeze full console games into a pocket-sized cartridge, even if they had to cut a bunch of corners to do it. But that's just me. How about you? Did you ever power through those passwords, or did you just stick with the console versions? Toss your stories down in the comments. If you enjoyed this, a like really helps us out. And if you're new, hit subscribe for more throwback reviews like this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.